Broken lights on the ceiling, rhythm under the skin. No one asks for names, no one cares about later. The masks don't hide, they allow. Tonight doesn't need explanation. You move closer without history. I ride with nothing attached. Contact happens before thought held sweat. Minimal distance, no romantic intention, just impulse kept precise. Don't look at me for meaning, I don't look for anything back. Some agreements are signed without words. Nothing is built here, it's crossed, and that's enough. No face, no story, no guilt. The rhythm decides, hands don't ask. No face, no story, no guilt. Only presence without record. Closer, unnamed, no after. Fabric brushes without promise. Breathe and recalibrate. No long stares, only accuracy. I don't wanna know who you are, you don't insist either. Anonymity doesn't cool, it sharpens. There's no deception when nothing is offered. There's no loss when nothing is meant to last. The space exists only now, that's what makes it exact. No face, no story, no guilt. Pulse in command, everything else irrelevant. No face, no story, no guilt. Clean contact, nothing more. Some connections don't see continuation, they exist to tighten and vanish. Not every desire wants to stay, some only wanna happen. No face, no story, no guilt. Music covers what won't be named. No face, no story, no guilt. When the night ends, no one knows anything. No one knows anything. Masks fall when it no longer matters. The room starts moving again. What happened here doesn't need memory. The door opens and the air shifts, not from noise, from presence. She doesn't scan the room, she moves forward and the space understands. Something has just changed. Fabric tight with intention, measured steps, exact time, and she doesn't search for eyes, she summons them. No doubt on her skin, no questions on her back. She enters knowing nothing will stay right. She doesn't raise her voice, she doesn't rush the pulse. Silence rearranges itself to match her walk. Some bodies don't seduce, they impose, and she knows it without needing confirmation. It wasn't provocation, it was control. Every stand neutralized without direct contact. It wasn't provocation, it wasn't provocation, it was control. She didn't ask for attention, she took it without touching. Nothing excessive, nothing explicit, just dominance will dress. She doesn't smile to please, she smiles when she decides. The red doesn't decorate, it without debt. It wasn't provocation. It wasn't provocation. And no one asked why, because they already knew. When she leaves, the room takes time to recover. The red stays in memory, not as a souvenir, as a warning. The city stopped talking. The lights failed overhead. No exit signs, just this heavy air settling in the chest. You didn't promise anything, neither did I. Still, we didn't leave. Everything collapsed slowly, like the world chose exhaustion. Plans broken on the ground, no one came to pull us out. You kept looking forward, no hope for sale. That's what held me. You didn't lie, you didn't talk about tomorrow. You didn't ask me to stay, you were simply there when things started failing. Some gestures don't save you, but they don't abandon you. And sometimes that's enough. Under this black sky, we don't shine. We breathe slowly through smoke and remains. Under this black sky, we promise nothing. If everything falls, we endure. No epic, no blind faith, just presence that doesn't break. Your hands didn't offer shelter, they offer reality. You didn't say it'll pass, you said nothing in that word. I learned staying is also a form of desire, when there are no guarantees. We weren't a promise, we were context. Two bodies understanding that running also gets tired. When the landscape cracks, the one who doesn't move stands out. Under this black sky, we don't shine, we stay upright even when looking hurts. Under this black sky, we swear nothing. If the world empties, we endure. Maybe tomorrow we're gone, maybe this won't continue. But some nights don't ask what comes next, they only demand that you don't leave when everything goes dark. Under this black sky, I learned something clear. Not every bond illuminates, so simply hold. Under this black sky, no show drama. When everything breaks, we endure. The sky doesn't change, the city stays silent. We didn't win anything, but we didn't run. I stayed out of habit to avoid facing the echo. I confused stability with not being alone. I looked at you knowing I was already gone, but silence felt more dangerous than leaving. It wasn't lack of courage, it was lack of a clean cut. I let the bond continue after it stopped holding. Postponing is still a choice, even when it dresses up as patience. It wasn't love, it was delay. I kept occupying a space I no longer lived in. It wasn't love, it was delay. And the damage wasn't staying, it was knowing and staying anyway. I offered presence with no truth behind it. I fulfilled routines like paying off a debt. I didn't lie with words, I lied with continuity that weighs more than it seems. I didn't want to break you, but not letting go also breaks. Some endings hurt less when they aren't stretched. Fear of emptiness usually charges interest. It wasn't love, it was delay. I held something dead out of habit. It wasn't love, it was delay. And I'm sorry not for leaving, but for waiting. Some truths don't arrive late, they arrive after damage is done. Leaving on time is also a form of respect. It wasn't love, it was delay. Don't confuse permanence with care. It wasn't love, it was delay. This sentence isn't asking for absolution, only accuracy. Now I leave without dramatizing. What's right doesn't always arrive first. Sometimes it arrives late. Nightfall without ceremony. The room knows something is missing, even if no one says it. Space overflow. Silence doesn't. Your sudden touch, mine alert. We share the air, but not the pulse. The body reached abandonment first. The relationship just didn't notice. There was no argument, there was distance. nobody understood first what the voice avoided. Some goodbyes happened lying down, staring at the ceiling. We slept, but didn't coincide. Distance fits between two breaths. We slept, but didn't coincide. Abandonment doesn't always walk away. Some absences make no sound, they settle. And when you try to touch them, they're already gone, even if they're still there. We slept, but didn't coincide. The body chose to leave before the bond did. We slept, but didn't coincide. And the bed knew before we did. Morning arise without fixing anything. The hollow stays intact, not from lack of skin, from excess distance. The day loses its tone without asking. The city sweats moisture and no one stops. Something leaves without announcement. It doesn't hurt sharply, it lasts. Hands no longer search, they merely align. Words arrive late, never enough. There was no betrayal, there was erosion. Affection turned into scenery and stopped being noticed. I didn't try to stop it, I didn't rush it either. Some processes move forward, even you walk beside them. Resistance would have been noise, letting go was quiet. It didn't dissolve like color in water without impact. It didn't dissolve. No one had to leave for it to happen. Constant gray, low pulse. Nothing demands attention. Wet streets reflect what we stopped naming. We walked together without heading to the same place. No anger, blame, only the feeling of arriving late to something already gone. Not every ending needs collision. Some prefer to fade. Habit often stays when emotion withdraws. Love didn't shout, it tired out. It didn't dissolve. No scenes, no rupture. It didn't dissolve like daylight lowering itself. There are goodbyes that aren't spoken, they show in the slowest step. Uncomfortable silence and not chest marks time. Without intention, everything aligned. Nothing alive, I'm still here because the body knows how to stay. Even when it's done, I move by habit, react to basic signals. Correct gesture, accurate phrase. No hunger, no rejection, just a mechanism trained to continue. I don't look at you searching, I look because it's expected. Closeness doesn't burn, doesn't freeze. There are states where feeling would be excess. This is one. It beats, but doesn't answer. Rhythm stays, meaning gone. It beats, but doesn't answer. I'm present without connection. Active, hollow, precise. Active, hollow, precise. Active, hollow, precise. Routine holds me up, not belief. I complete the contact with a memory. Desire shut down without sound. Only the structure remain, pretending to be vital. No break, no spectacle. Absence learned how to coexist. Staying isn't courage, it's minimal friction, and it works. It beats, but doesn't answer. Stable pulse, empty interior. It beats, but doesn't answer. I'm not broken, I'm shut down. Some things don't die, they get automated. They don't disappear, they become useful. Breathing without hunger still counts as a condition. It beats, air goes in, comes out. The body complies. Nothing demands attention, nothing answers back. I remain operational inside a state that doesn't exist. I keep occupying the space, say what's required. To repeat schedules without asking why. No resistance, no surrender, just continuity without meaning. I didn't leave because leaving would require feeling. Staying is easier when the pulse is gone. The bond remains active externally, inside no one answers. I'm still here, but I'm not present. The gesture works, the voice replies. I'm still here, but I'm not present. Life passes by without touching me. Stable motion suspended interior, nothing burns. continue. I'm still here, but I'm not present. Structure holds content doesn't. I'm still here, but I'm not present. Breathing is not presence. They function as if everything stayed the same, even when no one remained. I'm still here, but I'm not present. Not visible absence in the exact hollow. I'm still here, but I'm not present. Life continues, I don't. The day ends without variation. Everything stays upright. The one meant to feel it. Before the noise, before the damage, there was a second without a name. The body alert, skin awake, nothing happened and everything was marked. It wasn't impulse, it was recognition. Something inside said yes without knowing to what. Breathing shifted pace, blood took position. No story existed, only direction. I didn't think of consequences. I thought of moving forward. Some decisions are born before fear. Desire didn't ask for shape, only access. I gave it that. Everything started here, and there was no return. The exact point where something opened. Everything started here, and there was no return. Engaged, boundaries lower, the body understood before I did. There was no promise, no framework, only that tension without explanation. Skin took notes, the mind arrived late, getting lost sometimes. Starts like this, I didn't want to control it. I wanted to feel it pass through. The origin doesn't ask, it cuts through. Some moments don't seek permission, only continuation. Everything started here, and there was no return. The line was crossed without dramatics. Everything started here, and there was no return. Desire alert, how to exist. Not every beginning is clean, but it's real. Primary intensity doesn't negotiate. There are truths born before language. Everything started here, and there was no return. It wasn't a mistake, it was a threshold. Everything started here, and there was no return. The origin can't be corrected. Now I know nothing and still change everything. Change everything. Change everything. Change everything. The day drops its guard without saying goodbye. Shadows stretch as if they know something. Silence changes texture, no warning. It just prepares the ground. For hours I held the correct shape, the measured gesture, the safe word. But something starts shifting when the light falls. It's not rebellion, it's internal adjustment. Half closed blinds don't hide, they suggest the body wakes up before intention. Some decisions aren't thought, they're felt when the day retreats. I'm not the same when the day falls. The proper version dissolves, the real one remains. I'm not the same when the day falls. Night doesn't correct, it exposes. Alert, alert, pulse, altered breathing. Something begins without a name. Streets lower their volume, the mind follows steps, slow down with intention. I'm not looking for permission, I'm looking for contact with truth. At dusk, everything weighs differently. It's not darkness, it's focus. Daylight clearing and fears when what's real appears. The body knows what to release as the sky shuts down. I'm not the same when the day falls. What I contain activates without guilt. I'm not the same when the day falls. The light leaves and I arrive. Some people only exist after the sun drops, not too high, but because they fit better. Night doesn't transform, it aligns. I'm not the same when the day falls. Not from excess, from truth. I'm not the same when the day falls. What's correct steps back, what's real advances. The city breathes slowly, so do I. At dusk, I don't begin again. I simply stop pretending. The city empties out without goodbye. Clocks move forward as if they no longer matter. After 3, silence isn't calm, it's permission. Streets don't watch, windows don't either. Everything not held together starts to fall. No audience left, no role to remain, and only this clarity that arrives when nothing is expected. Messages leave without corrections, can't understand before thought. Some decisions don't survive daylight, but at this hour they become exact. After 3, no one pretends. What I want doesn't negotiate, what I feel doesn't hide. what's real switches on after 3. No one pretends. After 3, no one pretends. The mask collapses and tension holds into 3. No one pretends. Desire speaks without apology. There are truths that can't survive the morning. They need shadow, they need fatigue, they need this hour to exist. After 3, no one pretends. Nothing proper remains, only what's precise. After 3, no one pretends. What appears here never returns the same. The sky's still lighting too soon. After 3, everything was real, even if no one remembers it the same way. Low lights, the house close to the world. The clock gives up, the night takes over. Cotton on skin, unhurried glances. This isn't a party, it's something else. Soft pajamas, slow smiles. No one came to sleep, but no one says it. The couch feels closer, laughter sticks. No clear plan, just intention floating. No need for loud music, the pulse is already rising. The brush feels accidental, but it's not. Discomfort turns dangerous when chemistry's away. Pajama party, skin without armor. Pajama party, looks that linger. Nothing formal, everything close. Pajama party and the night loosens up. You laugh already knowing cotton fits better when the shed heat. No poses, no disguises, just relaxed versions that turn dangerous after midnight. Trust drops, defenses, desire finishes the job. It's not direct provocation, it's extended closeness, and that at this hour ignites more. Pajama party, easy bodies. Pajama party, intimate rhythm, nothing explicit, everything implied. Pajama party, and the air grows heavy. Some nights don't need special clothes or big promises, just comfort, long looks, and time with no witnesses. Pajama party, no pressure. Pajama party, pure connection. I don't know if this ends in sleep or wide awake. Pajama party, and the desire is real. The house stays quiet, we don't. forgotten was the excuse. The light is minimal, just enough to avoid lying. The page waits without judgment. No gestures here, only strokes that changes everything. I write what I can't hold through eye contact. Ink moves where the voice stops. No editing, no rehearsal. The hand shakes because it knows I'm not looking for absolution, I'm looking for release. Paper holds what skin won't confess. Some truths only exist when no one replies. Here I write what I couldn't sustain while looking at you. Desire without stage, intention without witnesses. Here I write what I couldn't sustain while looking at you. Once written it breathes. Nothing disguised, each line falls without prior permission, no promise, only precise discharge. The body stays still while truth advances. This notebook knows more than anyone. I couldn't say it out loud, it would break right and doesn't demand holding anything afterward. Without scene, without response. Here I write what I couldn't sustain while looking at you. Not bravery, necessity. Here I write what I couldn't sustain while looking at you. Truth doesn't ask for contact, only space. Some confessions don't wanna be seen, only recorded so they stop weighing inside. Silence can also be exact. Here I write what I couldn't sustain while looking at you. Not for you to read, for it to exist. Here I write what I couldn't sustain while looking at you. When it closes, sunset lines, the page closes without sound. Tomorrow I'll be the same, but tonight the truth is no longer loose. Glasses collide before thinking gold rises fast. The night follows, we don't ask how long it lasts. We toast to avoid calculating. Loud laughter, control appearance. Excess learns how to dress while I drink to push away what insists on returning. Each sip sharpens the edge of what I refuse to feel. Everything looks precise when it shines enough. Organized euphoria camouflage the wear. Some pleasures work better when no one asks about tomorrow. Everything felt perfect for a few hours. rid of some control. It's about pausing and shine. Doesn't lie, it just distracts. Better the fall is already rearing. Thus ain't no one wearies it. Everything felt perfect for a few hours. Bright lights, thoughts far away. Everything felt perfect for a few hours. The bill waits in silence. Some excesses don't seek memory. They only cover noise with expensive sound. Pleasure with an expiration date is enjoyed knowing it won't be kept. Everything felt perfect for a few hours. It wasn't a lie, it was limited duration. Everything felt perfect for a few hours. Mullen collects so thin wine. Empty glasses fall and shine. The night leaves making it clear that luxury too runs out. She didn't enter making noise, the place was already prepared. She stopped and time did the same. She doesn't chase attention, it arrives without effort. Her eyes don't wonder, they stay. Some looks don't ask, they wait. And in that waiting, something starts to loosen. She doesn't tilt her head, she doesn't pretend desire. She watches as if she knows everyone else will fail. The silence around turns uncomfortable. Not for her. She didn't touch me, she dismantled me. No gesture, no movement. She didn't touch me, she dismantled me. I fell on my own while she remained still. Amber fixed, pulse disrupted. Nothing happened and everything shifted. She doesn't smile to attract, she smiles when she already knows. She doesn't need to come closer, distance works for her. Every second facing those eyes weighs more than the last. No urgency, only certainty. She doesn't rush the game, she doesn't interrupt it. She holds the scene until someone exposes themselves. Some dominate by moving, others by staying. She didn't touch me, she dismantled me. No words, no permission. She didn't touch me, she dismantled me. The fall was mine, she did nothing. There are people who don't pursue, they look, and in that stillness they force you to reveal yourself alone. But every fall needs a push.